Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females need you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me.
Hi, if you are seeing this, it means my book, Everything Was Here But You, is out now. This book touches on love, loss, grief, and the weird feeling that something is missing when you're building your beautiful, big, accomplished dream life. Check it out now. I'm sure you will find something in this book that you can relate to, and I hope it feels like a huge hug. You can get it now on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. Hey everyone, today I'm honored to welcome a very special guest and a friend of mine. Hi Jillian, how are you?
Hello, Rylan. I'm so happy to be here. I feel like this was very overdue, and I'm happy to be here.
It's very overdue. Guys, we've been saying this for months. Like when I tell you months, like months. I've been like, we can do it on Thursday. And she's like, talk to you then. And I don't know what happens.
Life just keeps lifing.
It literally does. But we're finally doing it. The stars aligned. God wanted it to happen. So here we
For
are.
sure, for sure.
We're chatting it up. It's
hmm
insane that I met you from literally doing this, and we're so locked in. I feel like we're intertwined. You're literally like an older sister to me. So
Well, you've always been so sweet, Rylan, so I appreciate you.
I
But
appreciate
yeah, just like through social media, I feel like that's how we've met. And then you're amazing at communicating and like keeping up, because sometimes that is something I'm working on it, but you're always on it.
I'm trying. I'm
You're
trying.
good. You do a good job at it.
Thank you. I love to do
Yeah.
my little reminders. I'm like, that's my girl. I gotta hype her up too. Because I think
Oh, that
that's the thing. A lot of people don't get, like, when you're a positive person, like, positive people need positive people because we're often the most people dealing with some crazy crap in our heads. You know what I mean? So it's
no, literally.
have that because we pour into others, but not a lot of people will be like, oh, like, she's always happy. She's good. Don't worry about it. And it's like often those people are the ones that overthink and have anxiety, etc.
Or they don't, like when you're a positive person, you don't get cringed out or annoyed by people just trying to be happy and live their life, which,
Which we literally just talked about before recording.
yeah,
I was like to her, I was like, why do people unfollow? Like, we're good people, but then I was like, not everyone can handle positivity, and I guess that's okay. Whatever floats your boat, right?
yeah, we're not gonna be every person's cup of tea, and that's okay.
I like
I
coffee.
don't, I-
Coffee's better.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And some people love tea. So,
Like you guys do you, but me and Jillian are gonna be getting a coffee. Like, sorry,
'cause we're gonna be getting our double cold brew
literally.
or as much caffeine as possible.
Literally. My like four triple espresso shots, like absolutely. Which I'm excited for a coffee date with you. We need to manifest that.
No, guys, we literally haven't even had a real life hangout session, which is kind of sad, but we're gonna make it happen.
It literally has. After I've trauma bonded over boys and like real life crap with you, and we haven't even hugged. Like, whoa, it's insane. It's insane. Do you want to introduce yourself before we get into the little questions and I can pick your brain?
Of course, thank you. As I said before, thank you for having me on this podcast. You always are inspiring me. You are 19, right? Or 20, or
19. I'm a baby.
yes, it's like okay, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I see your Instagram, and you have two books and a workbook, so technically three. So you inspire me so much,
My
and just a podcast and everything. So I'm really honored to be here and talking to you, um, to learn from you and grow with you.
so
But a little bit about myself. I graduated and got my degree in general psychology. I am currently right now getting my master's in mental health counseling, and I'm currently a first grade teacher for a perfect little class of mine, which has taught me a lot recently. I did a internship at a private practice and got a little bit of experience with therapy. I did an internship at St. Leo teaching and nannying. So I definitely have a passion for kids and helping people also. Sorry, I've been like looking not fully at the camera. Ciao. Anyway, um, but yeah, that's pretty much a little bit about my work situation and what I've been working on, hobbies and stuff. I love, yoga. I love working out. I love coffee.
Me,
I love
literally.
social media. Yeah, I like we bond over our obsession with coffee. I think the last post we did together, it was there was coffee in the
We need
background.
to do another one. I don't know.
No, that was a year ago.
We're so bad. We're so bad. I swear.
Um, but yeah, I love social media. I was just saying this too earlier. I've taken a little bit of a break. It wasn't anything super intentional. In my head, I kind of wanted to take a break for Lent, but then I was like, no, like I have to post on my birthday, which sounds so kind of stupid now hearing it. And I ended up not even posting on my birthday. So I'm like, maybe this is like kind of my little break, and then I'll start up again. But yeah, currently live in Florida.
And
I'm more north of Ryland, so we're not as close as we would like to be, but we're still in the same state, which is good.
exactly.
But
Distance
yeah,
doesn't mean crap. You know what? Like, mm-mm.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I love God. Faith is super important to me. I love learning about mental health, research. I did three research projects in my undergrad, which I really enjoyed, which maybe we'll talk about later when Rylan is picking my brain. But
Good.
yeah, I love psych. I love learning. I love growing. I love plants. If you're curious more about me, you can check out my Instagram,
You should. She's
um, Jillian Falvo. And then I also have another account inspired by the lights. Um, but yeah, this is not all about me. So you can ask away, and I'll probably start talking about myself soon. So,
I'm excited. You're literally the coolest human. You guys should definitely go follow her on Instagram. Like, I'll never forget when I first messaged you. I was like, you are literally a ray of sunshine. You radiate the best vibes. I'm obsessed with you. And then we exchanged numbers. I was never more trustful in a person the way I was with you. So
no, literally me too, because I was like, I really don't know this girl, but like, she's sending me the nicest messages. So, like, what could go
let's
wrong?
hope she doesn't kidnap me, which I do.
Yeah,
So we're good. We're good.
we're good.
We're like 2 years, I think, locked in. A really good year of being close. We're good. Nothing crazy is happening.
Yeah,
Um,
I trust you. I trust you.
I trust you too. So we're you want my social security number?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, I didn't think so. Um, what made you start creating a space centered around mental health and really reminding people they matter? I think it's so easy as humans to think, I'm unworthy. For girls, this guy doesn't like me back. I suck. I failed. There's something wrong with me. I'm ugly. And I think I know your answer, but it's so cool to have you on social media as a mirror for all these people who might be struggling with self-worth, self-love, and just seeing the good within themselves. And that's something I really admire about you. So what was your why behind all that?
Thank you. What a great question, Rylan. My why about that, I think there's definitely a bunch of parts to that answer. The first one that comes to my mind is during COVID. Um, I was a senior in high school when COVID happened. So for me, it was traumatic, which now looking back, I don't think maybe it was as traumatic as I thought it was, but it was my senior year. I lost my prom. I lost my senior dance that I had been working towards since second grade, just my whole schedule, everything was just turned upside down, as for most of us during COVID, obviously, which was just as a society, not the best time for us all, but um, just like anything else, trying to find the silver lining in it, I learned a lot about myself, and things that could help me grow.
Love that.
So yeah, I've always loved influencers and social media. So I just started watching a lot of more like self-love videos and affirmations and really understanding the power of like the words you say and physical activity and how that helped my mental health. Obviously, as we all know, during COVID, like all the gyms were shut down, and prior to COVID, I was like working out all the time at the gym and going tanning and just really like I felt like I was on a routine, and then it all just stopped.
Crazy time.
So yeah, oh my gosh, so
What was
crazy.
that? Did you have to graduate? Like, I saw this video with my mom the other day. I'm like, oh my God, I could never imagine that being someone's reality. Were you like getting your diploma in the car? How did that work?
So yeah, that was interesting. I lived in Jersey at the time, so it was like extremely strict up there. But luckily, they let us do a socially distanced graduation. So
Okay.
like all the parents we were all outside. I grew up near the beach, luckily, so everyone was just like super spread out, and then I did like they shipped us our diplomas. I'm or mailed shipped. What am I saying? Mailed it to us, but we had like the little one that you carry and you take a picture with. But yeah, that happened, which was I was grateful I got that. But yeah, COVID really just had me after or once, sorry. So COVID happened, and then that fall I was going to St. Leo University, and I was like, I really want to kind of change a little bit before then and have a fresh start and work on myself. So I started listening to a lot of affirmations free on YouTube. So I know you understand this, but like mental health, there's so many free resources out there really like people need to take advantage of them and like even just a notebook you can get one for like $3 5 even just you can find an old one maybe for free or you could even thrift one
Really? Go to the
um
dollar store and get a notebook. Like there's stuff
exactly.
everywhere, and they're also cute always.
Ye-
You can make it
yes.
cute. Draw on it, guys. Like it's not that hard. That's what upsets me. People are like, "Oh, I'm struggling," and you give them like things to do, and they're like, "Oh, that's too expensive." And I'm like, "These things cost $1. They're
Yeah,
really free."
or sometimes they're free.
Literally, like podcasts are free, YouTube videos are free, like drawing, creating is free, and it's so good for your brain. It like literally boosts serotonin, and I know you get that. So it's like it's
Oh,
cool to have someone that understands. Like when you find these resources, they literally help you so much.
thank you. I mean
Yoga
it.
is life-changing too.
And I'm gonna sit here and say, money doesn't make things a little bit more fun at times, and it definitely takes stress off. But the fundamental cores of getting your mental health better, exercise, which you can go for a run, which is free, or a walk,
Literally, nature, free.
journaling, talking to people, praying, like those things are all free. But to go back a little bit of what I was saying before, yeah, that hard time for me really just made me want to get more in my mental health. And then I got to college and I was just in a completely different space and I was so inspired by that. So I started like working out more. I was really, really strict with myself, which in ways I think it was good and bad, but more good than it was bad, but I would literally wake up every morning. I would go to my journal. I would write my affirmations, and then I would go and work out, and then like come back and journal and have my coffee. And I really set like a good morning routine, which ironically right now kind of struggling with,
Real.
but that's with mental health, it goes up and down, but that foundation of like taking care of myself first thing in the morning, I think is so crucial for mental health, and having a routine that you're excited to wake up for, or you might not enjoy working out right away. You don't have to do like weights and create all this stuff. Even just going for a walk or looking up a free YouTube video, stuff like that. In college, I just got more passionate about it, and I loved writing my friends' little positive notes. And then my sophomore year, my mom got in a very bad accident, which was very traumatic. And in ways, sometimes I still feel like I am healing from it. But from that, it taught me so, so, so much. And I got so close to God, which was very comforting and good. I just learned a lot about myself, family, morals. And then at this point, I like 100% committed to my psych major. So then I was like so focused on learning about psychology, doing research, learning about the brain. I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like this is kind of what I'm supposed to do. And I love learning about why people behave the way they do. Um, and I started going to therapy. Well, I went to therapy that year or that was like I started going again. But that also got me more curious about just helping people and um, wanting to get better. And I also wanted to advocate, like we were talking about before, of like how like improving your mental health doesn't always have to be you going and paying a therapist. Even though I'm going to school to be a therapist and I love therapy, I do think there is one nobility and um, it just teaches you more when you try to help yourself too with just yourself. And or that was bad wording. I'm trying to say like you kind of have to suffer on your own and figure out what works for you in order to get better. Kind
Really.
of didn't word vomit that out correctly, but yeah, going through the hard times and figuring it out for yourself. Like I know some people who are in the mental health space and they're like, journaling is just not for me. But then other people are like, I have to have my journaling. And so maybe for you it's journaling, maybe it's swimming, maybe it's going for a car ride. Like I know my brother loves just sometimes to go for a ride, and for me,
Real.
I'm like, driving does not make me feel great all the time. So for me, that's not it. But everyone's their own.
Literally. I would rather sit in my car and just chill than drive.
Yeah.
I don't like
Or
driving.
go get coffee, maybe,
Literally.
you know?
Do something fun, not just going for a drive. Like that's just why are we doing that? Why are we wasting the gas money? But whatever floats your boat,
Exactly.
right?
See?
Whatever. I
No,
get it. That's why I'm
literally.
a sister. Literally, we're on the same wavelength.
We
So
get it.
you just said something about faith, and I want to touch on that because I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of people think you have to, like, maybe they really want to get close to God and they are like, oh crap, like I'm studying psychology. Like, do those two things, I guess, like interfere with each other? So, how would you say faith or belief plays a role in your healing? And does it, first of all, does it play a role in your healing, and how so? And has there ever been a time where like, oh my, is God going to get mad at me for being more invested in my mental health? Because I feel like that's such a misconception.
Again, Rylan, great, great question.
Thank you. I mean, I kind of ate with that because like I've seen so many videos. Oh,
Yeah.
if you believe in science, God's mad at you. If you and I'm like, God wants us to live our life the way we want to live it. Like he does not. He wants us to be happy and loved and love each other. Like he doesn't care.
Yeah. I um like I said, that's a great question and funny that you asked that because the program that I'm in right now is a Catholic school, but I'm going to school for mental health counseling. And like you said, um, people definitely tend to believe like you can't do both or you can't incorporate them both. But I'm the first to say that is like not true. I think you most definitely can, and I'm not pro at understanding and knowing everything in the Bible, but um, growing up Catholic and just getting a little bit more close to Catholicism and learning more, I feel like they're so what like they're just so close together. And through my course, I've been learning more of that. Um, but no, I don't think they're separate. I think they can appear to be, and different universities may present it that they are so different. But so much of what you learn in psychology is also found in the Bible, which I always find is interesting. And I just think people sometimes think like black and white, like they can't go together, but I disagree. And I at my residency last fall, I met so many very smart, educated, they do all the scientific stuff, and every single one of them believed in God. I think too, believing in God, it makes you in ways a little bit less narcissistic because
Agree.
with humans we all have a narcissistic tendency, whether or not people want to admit it. Like the research shows it. I'm not saying everyone is a narcissist, so I'm not saying that, but everyone has the desire to always like put themselves first in a lot of situations, and that's why I think it's so important to have God in your life, is for that reason, to realize, oh my gosh, like I'm actually not the center of my life. And through the Bible, it teaches us how to treat others, how to react when hard times come, to rely on God. I just feel like is such a healing thing for people.
I agree.
And there's research that shows to people who believe in God or are religious tend to be happier. And like I've done 3 research papers, and yes, is there a lot of science stuff and things that are like, this is how you do it, and or even just finding numbers and like standard deviation and there's definitely guidelines and things that you can't just not acknowledge, but I personally believe too God like created us, and with creating us he gave us these powers to help people, and through psychology you're able to heal people. um and I know some people are like, oh, like you, like some people who are religious don't believe in therapy, but me personally, I am not that person because I believe therapy can heal, and just as much like church heals me too, and I love to go to church, but I also know that when I went through my mother's accident and other things where I needed to receive therapy, as much as church was amazing, and I think it's great, and I 100% understand the importance of like community, and for me being Catholic, like the Eucharist and the traditions that have gone on for thousands of years. But there's just certain things, and the research shows it through therapeutic practices or like CBD or talk therapy or EMDR, like those things that people learn from psychology and science are there so that we can grow and learn. And there's just so much research that shows that they're together. So I think sometimes when people are like, oh, they can't go together, it's just because they're either super this way or super that way. But like I said, at my residency, I met such amazing, smart people, and almost I think actually every single one was Catholic and has God in their life. So for me, I'm just like, no, they definitely go together. Um, yeah, and I probably could have answered that question a little bit better
No,
if
I
I
love it. I love it because like
wrote it down,
it's
but
so true. It's so true because honestly, like I think we forget that like there's so many people out there that believe in different things, and that's the most beautiful thing about being a human is we all don't think and act the same way, and we can help each other grow and learn from each other. And I think that's why conversations like this are so important because like just you talking is giving me ideas and inspiring me. And imagine like the people that are listening, they're gonna be like, wow, like it's okay for me to believe in psychology and in God. And I think it's really important to break that misconception down because obviously two things can be true and they both are real and exist for a reason. And another thing you said is like, it's really nice, like you said, it's like nice to know you're not the center of your life, one, but it's also nice to know like not everything is on you to fix or control. And
exactly,
you
that's
can,
great, Rylan.
right,
Yeah,
you know,
you don't have to fix it all yourself. You have
that helps
someone who can
anxiety.
help you. Yeah.
Exactly. And that helps anxiety so much because I think that's what we all get anxious about. Oh my God, I don't know what's gonna happen. Cool, God does, so you're fine. Let him handle it, you know?
Exactly. Or just having Jesus to come to and pray to for me was such a healing thing for me. Like I said, even though I did in times need the therapy, for me, reading, like I love, and I know you know this because I post it all the time, but like a little Bible verse and then somebody's perception of it or thoughts or questions about it. And for me, that helps so much. Just getting to see that and like putting it into real life too. Because yeah, like you said, you to have it's so comforting knowing that someone is always going to love you. And uh not to correct you, but like it's in psychology too, it's not even like to believe it. Like psychology is a study that's real, and you can look things up, and they do thing like research
Exactly.
studies, like everything is done for a reason, and even though it is very scientific for people, it's you can believe both. Like how can you, because even in science, like science doesn't make sense. Like
No.
there's so many things that are just like we don't know how to explain it. And it's the same thing with faith. Like there's some certain things like you can't always maybe give a clear answer, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't like exist. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I agree. How do you keep going when life feels unfair or confusing?
Mhm. Yeah, another great question. Um, I my mother was a great influence for me in my life growing up. Um, she is just a very strong woman, and she had a lot of the financial responsibility growing up. So I just always saw her working so hard and like always constantly dealing with crap. And she just always did it with a smile on her face. Something I vividly remember from my childhood, which now like the therapist in me sometimes is like, like I don't know. But then at the same time, I'm like, no, it was beneficial. But she would always be like, if I have something sad going on, you wipe those tears off and you walk in and you put a smile on your face and you just act like nothing happened. Which, like I said, the therapist in me sometimes is like, I don't know. But then at the same time, I do think it's important sometimes to just like, lock in. And even though you might feel like crap, you just kind of have to stick it through. And eventually, sometimes you feel a little bit better. But besides that, I feel like the question was like staying positive during hard times. That's one I think honestly we're all still learning and growing with in ways. But for me, faith, like praying always makes me feel better. Sometimes I'll find out I'm like, oh, I'm like having a overwhelming morning or I'm stressed out and I'm like, oh yeah, because I didn't take the time to pray or I didn't take like 5 minutes to thank God for everything that I have. Working out helps me stay positive even though I don't always want to do it.
Real.
That like sweating and just getting all the stuff out of me always makes me feel good. But did I answer that, or
Yes.
was there another part to it that I
No,
forgot?
you did. You answered it very lovely, by the way, too. Like very important. And I just like I think like you're right. Like it's really important. Like I love what your mom's saying because I think it's like it's great to not dwell on things, but also like we have to process them and feel them. So like I totally get like the whole like if
Yeah,
he's like
I see both sides.
me too, me too. I'm like, but I also love to have a hot girl crying moment. So it's like
Yeah.
I want my
Well,
ice cream to cry real quick, and then I'll get up.
yeah. And I have started to embrace that more too. I'm like, I really will let myself cry or like scream or be angry in that moment. But then I'm like, I gotta give myself like, okay, we're done with that. Let's move on because I don't want to stay stuck in that. Or even if I do, I try to like give myself a little bit of like sad time. And then I'm like, okay, then we're gonna be done with it because
Exactly.
being happy and positive, it's a choice. I
But
don't
then
care
you
what anyone
feel better
says. It's
too.
not like you said, we don't just wake up every day feeling like sun shines, rainbows, and lollipops. Like
Literally, it's a choice.
sometimes a little bit of faking it
Exactly.
makes you feel it a little bit.
Literally, it's so true because I feel like if you think about it, there's always something to be sad about, but it's like you got to look on the bright side. You really do because the brighter side is the
Yes.
better side. That's where things happen that are positive. And if you're not happy, fake being happy will feel your feelings and then manifest being happy. And then you're going to have more happy thoughts and feelings. So it's like, there's nothing bad about being happy. Like, there's no cons to it. I'm sorry.
No, and I know you always like post about this too, but like gratitude,
Literally.
that is something too, going back to that, like that is everything. If you want to have even just like a simple or faster, I guess, way to maybe feel more positive, happy is like writing down every morning 3 to 5 things. It's corny, everyone says it all the time, but like literally writing down on a piece of paper or even on your notes app writing what you're grateful for, and even if you're feeling crazy before bed, and if you do that for a while, you're just gonna notice yourself way more positive, and your brain will then start looking for more good.
When you focus on the
Or
good, it gets better.
what?
When you focus on the good gets better.
Exactly. Oh, another thing too is like every morning, which I've been struggling with more so recently, like getting up. But repeating like so many times like today's gonna be a great day. My students know it, but I'll sing it. I'll be like, today is gonna be a great day. Today is gonna be a great day. And like you just have to keep saying it because then your brain looks for more good versus, and they've done research on this. The more, if you're like, oh, today's a crap day, then you get in your car, you miss the light. Then, you're driving and someone cuts you off, and then your coffee spills, and then you're walking into late, to work late because you got coffee and you had to go change. And then like your brain will just continuously keep looking for bad things. It's like the red car theory. I don't know if that's exactly right, but if you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna look for a red car," you'll see a red car everywhere. But if you don't tell your brain to look for the red car, you're gonna miss all the red cars.
It's true. It's so true. And like, can I go back to fourth grade? I want to be your student. Like,
We would get along well.
we would. We would. It'd be
You'd
fine.
be my helper, I feel like, for
Exactly.
sure.
Exactly. We would have great workplace energy. Like, it's fine. I'd take
Yes.
the Starbucks every morning. Like, we'd be locked in like that. Um, that is no, like your students are so lucky because I just feel like something I love about you, like going back to the don't dwell on it thing, when you give me advice, like what I love about you is you see me as
Girl, you give me advice.
we just help each other. We help each other. But like what I love about you is like you see me as like actually who I am. Like I'm deep feeling and sensitive and lover girl and you I think want to protect that side of me. So it's like you're like
Because that's so
yeah,
important.
it
You
is. Like that
you
sucks,
can't,
but get up
yeah.
and then you're a girl boss. Like don't sit and cry about it because you know I will. Like don't sit and cry about it for 2 months. Like
At
that's
least two for boys. Like we can't be wasting too much time on boys. But I get it. I get it. I've been there.
and that's what I love about like having you in my life is like you've been there, you've been through it, and you can be a big sister to me and help me and be a mirror. So, and that's what I love about you. Like your students are so lucky because you focus on the good and the positive and the little things. And I feel like people like that are just great to be around because they give you amazing energy and they're lucky to have you because you're like, here's look, guys, the sun is out today instead of like, oh, it's gonna rain tomorrow. You know what I mean? And like that makes such a difference.
Thank you, Rylan. You're so sweet.
You deserve it. I love that you guys are growing like you have butterfly plants in your
Yes, we are. They're pretty cool. And we're also growing grass right now. So
that
we are like the little um what's the word? I don't know. We're happy in Salvo's classroom. It's so cute though watching them. Like working with children really reminds you of also like channeling that inner child in you and listening to your emotions. I try my hardest to always like be as patient and listen to every child, even though sometimes it is very exhausting for any of the teachers or like kid people who've worked with children. They're amazing, but they most definitely will test your patience and make you very exhausted. But like they say things sometimes, and I'm like, why do we think like kids aren't smart? Because they're actually so smart and they say things and they don't care and they move their bodies how they want and they're usually very confident. Like in first grade, maybe not all of them, but they haven't really gained um like they're not thinking are other people perceiving me or are other people judging me? They're just like, "Yep, I'm here. I'm ready to go."
they don't they don't care. They really don't. And like
Oh,
we need to learn from kids. We can learn so much from just hanging out with kids for an hour, like truly.
no, yeah. They're so smart. They're
They
great.
they literally are so smart. Why are we so mean to ourselves, Jillian? Why do you think we are, and where do you think that voice actually comes from?
Hmm. Um, well, like I know we talked about this earlier, but well, not earlier, but I am re very I have what am I saying? I am okay, maybe I can speak now. I am very religious, so for me, a lot of my beliefs do stem from more of a biblical point of view. So for me, sometimes I do believe that those mean thoughts come from the enemy, and the enemy wants us not to live happy, and people like us who are super positive, we're like the worst because we just want to embody love and light and love people and take care of people and be super empathetic and feel super deeply and love super deeply. So I think that's like probably the main one, but also I do think that we're mean to ourselves because society teaches us to be mean to ourselves. And like as women, it's so like everything that we're shown from a young age is like to be pretty and to be skinny and to be this and to be that. And unless you have like a really good support system, and not even support, like a lot of people just don't know, like we don't, because we're just in ways so brainwashed into thinking we have to be and look a certain way. So I think that's another thing. Also, your environment. If you're around mean people, well, yeah, you're going to be more mean to yourself.
Exactly.
Also, sometimes, like when we're insecure, maybe not as confident, that makes us mean to ourselves. But society, like, wow, just all the things that we have been shown from such a little or young age really influences us. I think I did a paper my sophomore or junior year. I think it's like I want to say the age of 10 and 11 for women or for girls that they're able to conceptualize like wanting to be sexy and wanting to be attractive. I'm not saying that every 11 and 12-year-old wants to be sexy, but I'm saying like you get to that age and you really just start thinking of your body and how you look and how you're presenting to others. And I think it's gotten even worse because of social media. Also, I heard this on a podcast, but like apparently before, like people didn't have as many mirrors as
What?
like I don't know if only if that's true, but I feel like it makes sense because
It's
also the more you look at yourself, the more critical you are sometimes on yourself,
so true.
especially with social media.
True.
But yeah, I would say that, and don't let the enemy win and and maybe you don't want to say enemy or maybe you want to say like negative energy, but definitely think that there's, good and bad things in this world. And me and Rylan don't want to be part of the bad energy people, so we're the bad things.
We don't. We don't. We want to spread positive vibes.
We
That's
want to be, we're the little angels flying, our little butterflies flying
literally,
around,
literally. We're trying
sprinkling
to like
sparkles everywhere.
literally, we're little Tinkerbells, actually.
Mhm.
We need to now do that as like a matching Halloween costume one year. Like that needs to happen.
Would be good. That would be good.
I'd be obsessed. How about
Mhm.
you like train your brain to understand affirmations? Because I feel like if a newbie was trying to do it, like it sounds silly. Like I am enough. Like and you're laughing because you're like, I don't feel enough. Like I am
Yeah.
smart. Like, how do you like really get into that regimen, even if it feels silly and stupid? Like, because it really does help. It really does help. I believe it.
Yeah. Again, great question. I think um there's more than one way to approach this. One way that I'll talk about, if maybe you're someone who, like you said, views it as like, it's a little bit corny, like I don't get the point of affirmations, like I don't feel good, like why am I doing this? I would go and look up on Google Scholar, which is free, by the way, or if you are going to a university, you probably have a free database which will have look up peer-reviewed real research articles, and look up what affirmations do. There's so much research that shows like the um, positive effects of affirmation. So like if you're someone who maybe needs to like read the facts and then believe it, maybe you can start out there. Um, for me, YouTube was a big one. I would look up positive affirmations. I forget the exact girl that I used to listen to, but it was kind of like a meditation sort of style. So she would go through and she had this super calm voice and she'd be like, I am beautiful, I am great. And she would just repeat the affirmations and I would listen to them and then I would say them. I think writing them, I used to be a little bit better with it, but writing them on my mirror in the morning, or even just like writing one or two. And maybe your affirmation isn't I am worthy, maybe it's I am smart. I am capable of anything. That was like one of my favorite affirmations all of college, just with like the workload. I would always write, I am capable of anything I desire. I am extremely smart and I can handle any problem or obstacle that comes my way. Uh, but affirmations is also one of those things where it kind of just doesn't happen overnight. You definitely have to keep practicing it and continuing to do it. But yeah, just continuing to write it down, say it, embody it. Also, don't hang around negative people. That one can get you not feeling good. So try to find friends that hype you up or tell you nice things or support you, all that type of stuff. Um, but yeah, or also listening to like music. That's another thing. If you're like listening to constant, like to depressing music all the time, babe, you're not gonna feel good. No? And even some of my favorite singers, sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna listen to that song because they're singing super toxic things, and I don't want to embody being toxic. So,
I agree, and I think what you listen to and who you surround yourself with really does affect how you see yourself, and it's
yeah.
important, which ties into my next question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Perspective on this.
Mhm.
I recently heard a phrase, the partner you pick reflects the way you view yourself. So if you have a good partner that loves and cares about you, it means you love and care about yourself. And if you have a toxic partner, it means that's how you view yourself. What are your opinions or thoughts on that?
This answer might be sort of confusing, but I would say I would agree and disagree to that because I understand your perspective of saying, like when you are happy and you love yourself and you love who you are, you're going to pick a loving partner. I have been blessed with an amazing boyfriend who loves and supports me and really just
King. We
wants me to, yes,
love your
wants me to
post.
be a strong, independent woman, wants me to pursue my dreams, thinks what I do on social media is great and encourages me to do better and be better and is super into his faith, which is like amazing. But on the other side, I've seen amazing people um, be with not the most amazing people. And I don't always think that they are not good or that they're not together. I think sometimes wounds from childhood can make us pick sometimes the not the best partner. And sometimes if you've grown up in a toxic environment and that's all you know, and you've never been to therapy, and you maybe don't have the best support system, like for me, I'm not gonna like blame that person entirely and be like your choices are just your choices because you don't know. And what you experience in your childhood becomes the norm. And that's like actually how your brain thinks. And I think through going through my therapy courses, um, or classes, I don't know why I said that. Classes, it's just like taught me to be more empathetic towards people because people typically act in toxic or bad ways because it's been shown to them and you don't know. So I have a lot of compassion for people um and also just sometimes when we're younger with our brains not fully being developed, we don't always make the best decisions in relationships. And like I said, I have um just learned that through my own experiences. And I do think it comes to a point, where if you're continuously picking not the greatest partner, yeah, that definitely reflects on you. And obviously there's validity in that statement of like, okay, well, if you're picking this person, are you picking this person because you don't think that you're good enough to get someone else? Yeah, totally get that. But I think there are people who are great and they stay in the relationship because they're kind of like trauma bonded or because other reasons. But I do think if you are struggling to find good partners, doing that inner work is beneficial, or just becoming a better version of you. And I do believe you attract um, how you are. And I feel like when I attracted my partner, I was in a way better mindset and I learned things from other life experiences and just wanting to be better. And when you're young, it's very rare that someone meets someone when they're young and they just like click right away. So,
I agree. I just want to like say a big exclamation point to like literally everything you just said because you read my mind. So nothing else I can add there. What, what does healing actually look like behind the scenes, and why do you think people aren't real with that on social media? Like, what's up with that? Why are we not being authentic and true on social media?
that one's also like I feel like there's multiple answers to that. Um, I think the first one maybe that comes to my head is like people don't want to be like cringe. Or so many people don't want to be perceived. And then like people don't want to be perceived negatively. And sometimes by either posting your healing journey or talking about it, people are going to judge you. And people don't want to be judged, but people are going to judge you regardless. So for me, I'm just like, I'm going to post about it because all the people online who post about their healing journey helped me with my healing journey. So I'm like, even if I help one person and every other person thinks I'm cringe, like let them think I'm cringe because all my friends who are actually my friends or the people who I'm closest with love and think I'm great. Um, but also to go with what does healing look like for you? Healing, and as for everyone, it's such an up and down thing sometimes. Obviously, with certain situations, it's different. But yeah, I think I go through sometimes phases of feeling more motivated to do this or that, or I've gotten better with it, but definitely like being super hard on myself, or even with my schoolwork, kind of connecting my worth to my schoolwork. But like I said, I've gotten better with it, but healing too sometimes is like feeling like crap one day, feeling better the next day, feeling great the following day, feeling really good and then maybe not, or stuff like that. But trying to have something you can rely on or be more consistent with. One of my favorite podcasters, Kayla Rose, she always says like don't like say discipline, say devotion. And I think that's also with healing. Like sometimes when you have a little bit stricter or like more perfectionist mindset, you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm not happy today. I'm failing. I'm not good. Like I'm never going to get better when you have a bad day. But then you have to remind yourself, like, okay, this bad day is not going to make every other day bad. And I'm going to let myself feel this way and then it's going to get better. So sometimes having a little bit more empathy for when the days are harder. Um, but movement, prayer, um, good support system, like you have to have those. And also through healing, it kind of gave me more of um, like I don't freaking care what anyone thinks of me. Which was nice because I'm like, no one knows. I mean, some people know a little bit of what I went through my freshman and sophomore year, but I'm like, if I can get through that, and I went through all of that,
Literally.
why am I gonna care what Joe Schmo thinks of me, you know, or Sally thinks of me because they don't even know me, and most people aren't gonna know us ever, you know?
They think we suck, but it's like, dude, what sucks about me? You don't even know me like that.
Yeah, and we always think that people are thinking sometimes worse than they are. Most of the time, people aren't even actually thinking of you or what you're posting on social media. So, for the people who want to post about their healing journey, I would say do it because even if it inspires one person, you made a positive impact. And one positive act is always way better than nothing. Hey,
Friend.
I'd rather post to my 1,600 followers or 1,000, like, you know what I mean? Like a smaller number, and it helps some people versus not post at all.
Exactly.
Because I care what other people think of me, even though people are gonna judge me, even if I do everything right and I appear perfect. Like, you can't ever please everyone.
Exactly. And that's like a stadium of people. That's insane. Like that's crazy. If you put all those
And
people,
your stadium's even like bigger, and like in our head sometimes I know we're like, oh, it's not big enough, but like you said, that is like
it's
it's a lot, it's people.
it's people that can like to think like we've both built these communities where it's people that are interactive with us. It's not like I look at people that like buy on Instagram these followers. I'm like, they're not even commenting anything valuable. And I'd rather have 45 comments of people commenting real stuff about what I'm posting than, friggin' 2 million bots just commenting like emojis. You know what I mean? It's like let's pick here. Like I'm gonna pick quality over quantity every day. Like absolutely not. So it's like knowing like we have people that are literally engaged with our content and care about our stuff and like support the pod, buy my books, care about what you're posting with your Bible. Like they swipe up on our stories, say, Jillian, that was a great yoga class, like you inspired me, etc. It's like knowing like we have people that care on our pages blows my mind because they don't have to care. They choose to. And I think that speaks volumes about us.
And to go off of what you were saying a little bit for the next question, I've also noticed, which I know you've noticed too, but like people a lot of the time view my stuff and they don't say anything or like it or comment, but and that's usually for majority of people. Like I know if you look at your views, like you definitely get a lot more views maybe than like just say for example likes or comments.
Right,
You'd get a lot of comments, but you get what I'm saying.
right, exactly.
People too sometimes are looking at our stuff, but they're not like necessarily saying anything, which is totally okay. Like, I get that. I see a lot of content online sometimes where I'm like, wow. And not that I'm not like that I'm being petty or rude. I just like sometimes don't always say something
You're
back.
busy, like you're just swiping or you're
Yeah.
this thing, whatever, and it's like, wow, like amazing. On to the next
And you
thing.
can still make a difference without like seeing the numbers and all of that stuff because as much as that stuff does matter, I think at the end of the day, you and I look at it as more of helping people, which I think is great for us.
Exactly. And we're in it for the right reasons, and it might take longer, but we're doing it. And I'm lucky to have you in my corner. And just again, like knowing if you don't post that thing, you're not helping someone. And like you're almost doing a disservice because someone out there needs whatever you almost didn't share.
I needed to hear that because it's been way too long since I posted, so thank you.
Yeah, gotta remind you, right?
Hmm.
Let's do a little rapid fire before we wrap this up. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Healing or distracting?
Like just picking a word,
Yeah.
healing, but sometimes I get distracted. Go.
Overthinking or avoiding?
I'm both of those. Um, I would say avoiding. I do that more.
Journaling or talking it out?
Journaling, but you give me a glass of wine and I will yap all night.
Coffee or tea? And I know your answer, so now tell us your coffee order.
Yeah, exactly. So I have an espresso machine, which I love. So for me, most days I make my own coffee because it's so expensive sometimes. But I love espresso with honey and salt and cinnamon, sometimes maple syrup. I don't love no judgment, but like I just don't like this like fake syrupy taste that much. Maybe if like I'm craving it like a caramel latte, but I just I don't like the fake sugar taste. Sometimes if I'm getting something, it'll be maybe oh always whole milk too. I whole milk's my favorite. A cold brew with cold foam. I love cold foam. That's my favorite.
So good.
But yeah, minimal, like I don't like the fake sugar taste. I love the taste of coffee, so I don't want it to be like super sugary. I want to taste the coffee, you know?
Feel you gotta make me a cup of coffee now. I gotta have your Jillian.
No, yes, so good. You love it.
I'm excited.
Hmm.
One,
And iced usually. Sorry, I had to mention that.
oh,
Iced almost always.
always, I don't care if it's cold. Always iced.
Yeah.
Always. One thing you wish girls knew.
That they're just amazing and that they're capable of anything that they desire, and it's better to look at women as like a sister friend view versus like competition. And I think that trying to compete against other girls is not going to make you happy. So try not to be the competitive, toxic person because nobody really wants to be around those people long term, honestly.
One does. What's your comfort meal?
Ramen or like any Asian type of food. Oh, that's my favorite.
That sounds so good. I've never had ramen actually.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
I need,
We'll have to go when we have our hangout. We're gonna get ramen.
yeah, deal. And coffee.
Yes.
What is one thing you want people to take away from this conversation? And any advice or last little inspiring words?
Hmm. What a great question. Um, I would want to say that God loves you and that you were created perfectly, and despite your flaws or the things you struggle with, they're not your main identity. And you can always change the person you are, and you can always change the circumstances. And although you can't change everything and control everything, you still, as a human being, can control a lot. And if you want love and light, you got to be it first so that you can attract more of those people. And my other thing, even though that's more than one thing, is don't like really practice not caring what other people think and practicing going out and maybe being embarrassing or posting on Instagram and having people think you're cringe, because constantly needing other people's approval is gonna make you miserable in life. And people who don't care are always like more fun, and those are the type of people you want to be around, you know?
I agree. And like I think like for you to be a positive person, you have to surround yourself with positive people, and you are one of those
Mhm.
for me.
Thank you. You're one of those for me.
Uh, I love you so much. For everyone listening, where can
Yeah.
people follow you on Instagram? She mentioned it in the beginning, but if
Oh,
you
sorry. You're so sweet. Jillian Falvo and inspired by the lights. Like I said, I've been a little bit not as active as I usually am, but I'm gonna get back into it. And yeah, in the future, one day I like might be using my social media and will hopefully be a counselor. So maybe,
can.
you know, you could reach out for me for that reason.
Exactly. Or just go make a friend. I'll happily share her. It's fine.
Oh,
It's
sure.
fine.
I love girlfriends. I love to make friends online. It's really cool making friends online.
It really is. They told us not to talk to strangers as kids, and we did it anyways.
Yes. You're not scary though, so it's a little bit different, I guess.
You're not scary either. Like you're literally a flower. It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jillian. This was so much
Thank you,
fun.
Rylan. This was a blast. We have to do it again.
We do. We so do. We need to do
Yes.
it too.